welcome him with a huge round of applause. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And it indeed is a great morning because the much-awaited Odisha Literary Festival, organized by leading national Delhi, the New Indian Express, is back for the third consecutive year to this glorious land of art, culture, tradition, and literature. This is Diksha, welcoming all of you to the third edition of OLF that brings together top literary figures from across the country, including our very own state, for thought-provoking panel discussions, intense debate sessions, and much more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a literary extravaganza, and we are about to get started. May I now request the editorial director of the New Indian Express, Mr. Prabhu Chawla, to escort our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, to the stage. We would like to officially welcome our CM with a bouquet, with a flower bouquet. So I'll request the editorial director to please present the bouquet to our Chief Minister. I would now request the editorial director of the New Indian Express, Mr. Prabhu Chawla, to escort our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, for the lamp lighting. Ladies and gentlemen, the lamp has been lit. And for an auspicious and befitting beginning to Odisha Literary Festival, I now call upon stage noted scriptwriter, dramatist, and television director of Odisha, Mr. Ananta Mahapatra of Srujani fame, to recite the famous classic Odia poem Kalijai by Pandit Godavarisa Mishra. Anyone who loves Odisha cannot but appreciate the multifaceted personality of Pandit Godavarisa Mishra, one of the Panchasakhas of Gopabandhu, who combined in his personality a dedicated freedom fighter, a poet, and academician of eminence. He's also the founder of Utkal University. So ladies and gentlemen, Pandit Godavarisa Mishra's Kalijai to be recited by Mr. Ananta Mahapatra.
Namaskar. I hope those who do not understand Odia, but if they just listen to the rhythm, few words, you will perhaps find this emotional tale revealed to you. ଭଲ କରିନା ବୁହାରେ ନାଉରୀ ଝିଅକୁ ମାଡ଼ୁଛି ଡର ଗଡ଼େ ଗଡ଼ ଲୋକ ଚାହିଁ ବସିଥିବେ ଝିଅ ଯିବ ଶାଶୁ ଘର ଭଲ କରିନା ବାହୁଛି ନାଉରୀ ତଲେଇ କରିଛି ଠିଆ ମାମୁଁ ଭଣଜାର କୁଣରୁ ଆସିଲୋ ବୋଲି ସୁଲୁ ସୁଲୁ ବା ଦିନ 10 ଘଡ଼ି ହେଲାଣିଟି ଆସି ଖରା ମାରେ ଚାହିଁ ଚାହିଁ 5 କୋଶ ବାଟ ଯିବାକୁ ଅଛିଲୋ ବେଳ ତ ପାଇବ ନାହିଁ ନାଉରୀ ବାପୁଡ଼ା କାତ ମାରୁଅଛି ଉଦାସେ ଗାଉଛି ଗୀତ ନା ଉଡ଼ିଯାଏ ପବନ ପ୍ରାୟଲୋ ଜଣା ନ ପଡ଼େ ବାଟ ମା ଭଉଣୀ କି ସାଥୀ ସଙ୍ଗାତକୁ ଝିଅ ଯେ ଆସିଛି ଛାଡ଼ି ନାଁରେ ବସି ସେ ତାଙ୍କରି କଥାଲୋ ହୁଏ ନିରନ୍ତର ବାଣୀ ମା ଭଉଣୀ ଏ ସାଥୀ ସଙ୍ଗାତ ସେ ରହିଲେ ଦୂରସ୍ତେ କାହିଁ ପରତେ ନହୁଛି ଆଜିକି ଦିନଲୋ ଫେରି ସେ ଦେଖିବ ଯାଇ ନା ଚାଲିଅଛି ପବନ ସମାନେ ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତେ ନ ହୋଇ ଥୟ ଚିହ୍ନା ଯେତେ ତାର ବଣ ପାହାଡ଼ଲୋ ଅନାଇ ଦେଖନ୍ତା ଝିଅ ଘଣ୍ଟଶିଳା ଶିଖେ ଚାହିଁ ସେ କହନ୍ତା ଦିଅରେ ମେଲାଣି ମୋତେ ଭେଟ ଆଉ ଦିନେ କୋହତି ନାହିଁ ଜୀବନେ ଯାଉଛି ଘୋର ବନସ୍ତେ ଶାଳିଆ ନଈତା ଚିରଦିନ ସାଥୀ ସୁଖେ ସେ ବୁଲେଇ କୂଳେ ବେଳେ ଶୁଏ ତାର ସାହାନ ସାରିଲୋ ହସି ଲେଉଟେଇ ଘରେ ନା ଆସି ହେଲା ଦଣ୍ଡକେ ପ୍ରବେଶ ଚଢ଼େଇ ହଗା ପାହାଡ଼େ ଘଣ୍ଟଶିଳା ନଦୀ ସେ ଜୁଟିଲୋ ରହିଲା ଶାଲିଆ ଦୂରେ ଚାହୁଁ ଚାହୁଁ ଆସି ଛୁଇଁଲା ତା ନା ଗଣ୍ଡ ତଳ କଳା ପାଣି ଝରେ ଝିଅ ଦୁଇ ଆଖିରୁ ଲୁହଲୋ ତିନ୍ତି ପିନ୍ଧା ଛିଟ କାନି ପାରିକୁଦ ବୋଲି ରାଇଜ ପୁଣି ସେ ଚିଲିକା ମଝିରେ କାହିଁ କେମନ୍ତେ ମୂର୍ଚ୍ଛିଲ ଝିଅକୁ ବାପ ହେ ଏତେ ଦୂରେ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ନା ଉଡ଼ିଯାଏ ପବନ ସମାନେ ନାହିଁ ହୁଏ କ୍ଷଣ ଥୟ ଝିଅ ବସିଅଛି ତୁନଟି ହୋଇଲୋ ନେତ୍ରୁ ବହିଯାଏ ଲୁହ ତୁନି ହୁଅ ଯାଇ ନକରି ଆଉଲୋ ଏଇ ଦିଶିଲାଣି ଗଡ଼ ଏତେ ବୋଲି ସିନା ବାପ ଝିଅର ଆଖିରୁ ଦେଲେ ଲୁହ ଦୁଅ ଧାର ପୋଛି ଯେବେ ପାରି ତାକୁ ବୁଝାଇ କହନ୍ତି ଯାଇ ବୁଝୁ ନାହିଁ କିଛି ଭଲ କରି ନା ବୁହାରେ ନାଉରୀ ଝିଅକୁ ମାଡ଼ୁଛି ଡର ଏତେ କାଳ ଯାଇ ନାଁରେ ବସିଛି ଯିବ ବୋଲି ଶାଶୁ ଘର ଭଲ କରି ନା ବହୁଛି ନାଉରୀ ଝିଅକୁ ମାରୁଛି କାତ ସୁଲୁ ସୁଲୁ ବା ବୋହି ଆସୁଚିଲୋ ଜଣା ନ ପଡ଼ଇ ବାଟ ଥିର ହେଲା ନାଉରୀ ଠିଆ ହେଲା କାତ ଆଉ ପାଉନାହିଁ ଭାଲେରୀ ଶିଖରୁ ଚଳା ମେଘ ଉଠେଇ ଆସିଲା କାହୁଁ ଲୁଚିଗଲେ ତହିଁ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଦେବତା ଲୋ ଖରା ନ ପଡ଼ଇ ଆଉ ମାଡ଼ି ଆସୁଅଛି ଅତି ବେଘେ ମେଘ ଜଟିଆ ନାଚିକି ଧରି ଭରସା ଭଟାସି ଗରଜୁଛୁଲୋ ଦିନେ ଦିଶେ ରାତି ପରି ନା ପଡ଼ିଅଛି ମଝି ଗଣ୍ଡେ ଆସି ବୁଡ଼ିଯିବ ହାତୀ ଛତି ଟଳମଳ ହୋଇ ଚଳୁଛି ନାଲୋ ନାଉରୀର ବଡ଼ ଭାତି ଭଲ କରି ବେଗେ ବୁହାରେ ନାଉରୀ ନା ହେଲା ଟଳମଳ ବରଷା ବତାସି ଗରଜି ଆସୁଛି ଝିଅକୁ ମାଡ଼ୁଛି ଡର ବରଷା ବତାସି ଗରଜି ଆସିଲା ନା ନ ହୁଏ ଥର ଏକା ପବନକେ ପାହାଡ଼େ ଯାଇ ପିଟି ସେ ହୋଇଗଲା ଚୁରି ମେଘ ଚାଲିଗଲା ମେଘ ବାଟ ସେ ବତାସି ହୋଇଲା ସ୍ଥିର ପଡ଼ିଗଲା ଖରା ନିର୍ମଳ ହୋଇଲ ପାଣି ହୁଏ କଳ କଳ ବାପା ପଚାରନ୍ତି ଖୋଜି ନାଉରୀରେ ଝିଅ ମୋର ଗଲା କାହିଁ ଝିଅ ମୋର ଗଲା କାହିଁ ବୁଝି ଆଖି ଠିଆ ନାଉରୀ ନିଜେଲୋ ଟୁଣ୍ଡତା ଫିଟେଇ ନାହିଁ ଚିଲିକା ପାଣିରେ ଦୋହଳୁଛି ଲହରୀ ବହୁଛି ଶୀତଳ ବା ସୋରି ସୋରି ଖରା ଚଳି ଯାଉଚିଲୋ ଖେଳୁଛି ସହସ୍ର ନା ପାହାଡ଼ ଚଢ଼ି ଉଡ଼ୁଅଛି ରାବି ମନେକି ଅଛି ତା ଧୋକା ପାଣି ତଳ ଛାଇ ବୁଡ଼ି ଯାଉଚିଲୋ ଯାଇଟି ନାହିଁ ଏକା ବାପା ଫେରି ଆସି ବୋଉଙ୍କ ଆଗରେ କଥା ନ କରନ୍ତି କହି ଆଉ ଦିନେ ପୁଣି ନାଉଲି ଗଲାଲୋ ନା ସେଇ ବାଟେ ବାଇ କେତେ ଶହ ବରଷ ହେଲାଣି ସେଦିନୁ ଗଣିକି ପାରିବ କିଏ ନାହିଁ କିଛି ଆଉ ସେ କାଥ କଲାଲୋ ଯାଇ ରହି ଅଛି କିଏ ତୋଳିଲେ ପାହାଡ଼ ଶିଖର କାଳେ ଭକ୍ତେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଦେଉଳଟିଏ ସେ ଦେଉଳ ପୁଣି ସମୁଦ୍ର ସତେଲୋ ରହିବ ଦେବତା କିଏ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ବୁଡ଼ିଗଲେ ନିଶବ୍ଦ ଯେବେ ହୁଏ ସଞ୍ଜ ବେଳେ ଏକା ଯାଇ ଲୋକେ କହନ୍ତିଲୋ ବୁଲୁଥାଏ ସେ ପାହାଡ଼େ ନେତ୍ରୁ ବହୁଥାଏ ଲୁହ ଧାର ଧାର ଶୁଖି ଯାଇଥାଏ ମୁହଁ ହେଲେ ଠାରି ହାତ କାନ୍ଦି କାହାକୁ ଲୋ ନିବର୍ତ୍ତାଇ କରେ ଥୟ ସେ ଯୋଗୁଁ ନୁହୁଛି କାଳି ଯାଇ ଗଣ୍ଡେ ଭିଡ଼େ ଆଉ ଝଡ଼ କଥା ତହିଁ ବୁଡ଼ିବାର ଶୁଣା ନ ଯାଏଲୋ ଯେହିଁ ଯେତେ ବୁଡ଼ୁ ନା କାଳି ଯାଇ ବଡ଼ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟକ୍ଷ ଦେବତୀ କୋଟି କୋଟି ଦଣ୍ଡବଟ ପାହାଡ଼ର ନାଁ ରାଇଜେ ଖ୍ୟାତଲୋ କାଳି ଯାଇ ପର୍ବତ କାଳି ଯାଇ ପର୍ବତ
Thank you, Mr. Mahapatra. That was indeed an apt beginning. I would now request the man who has played a vital role in visualizing Odisha Literary Festival, making it a reality, and ensuring its success for 3 consecutive years, to speak a few words. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the editorial director of the New Indian Express, Mr. Prabhu Chawla. He's one of India's best-known journalists who in his 40 years of career as reporter and editor has written extensively on events that have changed the political course of India and the people behind them. He has headed top media houses in our country. Mr. Prabhu Chawla was awarded a Padma Bhushan in 2003, the Indian Television Academy Award for Best News and Current Affairs Anchor for 2009 for his signature talk show, Seedhi Baat. Could I please request Mr. Prabhu Chawla to come here and speak a few words? Let's welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is our 3rd edition of Odisha Literary Festival, Odisha Literary Festival. She was praising about me. I am the host. I think it's very embarrassing host to be praised like this, what she has done. I'm little misfit in this crowd because I never wrote a book. I hardly read any books except my academic career, what I have to read. So I'm not a bookworm. I survive on what I write as a journalist, and literature and me are little known to each other, yes, but not friends of each other. We are very happy to hold the 3rd edition of Odisha Literary Festival, because we started it, as I told earlier, that we want to associate ourselves with New Indian Express, because Odisha was known as the best literature in the country. Odisha literature, because now what is happening, because English literature is taking over all over the place, we are copying Western literature, we are selling books like they sell pizzas or they sell hot dogs and whatnot. But nobody remembers what book wrote who, what time and whatnot. They know Mahabharata, which everybody can read even now. There know Ramayana, which can be read even now. There know Gita, which could be read even now. There no discovery of India, which people still read. But there are many books who come, they make their noises, they're very successful, they're very well written, they reflect the modern mind of the people, they reflect the taste of the young generation as well. But we decided to associate with the ancient history of literature in Odisha. There are Mahapatra here, he's here, Dr. Mahapatra. I'm proud of his literature. I have not read it, but what he said. Odisha was known for giving rich literature to the country. We thought we must associate ourselves. Therefore, this year we started with a prayer from Odisha. All the literary festivals are, yes, they are good people. Many authors came, international people come there. It becomes more like a counter machine outside how many footballs are there. They put a counter machine, okay, so many people have come. So we are not into counting footfalls and whatnot. But we want to celebrate our Odisha Literary Festival with the kind of people who are present here, those who love literature. They talk about it, they discuss about it, because discussing, debate and everything has become little ancient in this country now. The people are not talking about it. We started when the first 212, there were only 21 speakers, and we had 9 sessions. Mr. Patnaik was very kind enough to inaugurate that session as well. We also had a music concert by Rekha Bhardwaj because we wanted to connect East and West, South and North. That was because we are a South Indian paper. Odisha is our base there. Then Minister of State for HRD and eminent writer Shashi Tharoor opened the second Odisha Festival in 2013. We had then 29 speakers and 10 sessions. So we are progressing from there. We also had a debating competition for college students and a Kavi Sammelan, because literature is not only meant for people to come and talk and go and away. We wanted to involve everybody there. Because we thought poems are becoming irrelevant in this country. People don't write about poems. They write about fiction. They write about current politics, what is happening. Most of us don't write what we know, because some of the senior bureaucrats and ministers are sitting here. We will debate about that, because I have been part of the political process for 11 prime ministers I have talked about. I met them. I've read books by every eminent bureaucrat, ministers. I know what they have not written. I have not read these books, so I'm waiting to read that. I hope he has written what he knows, and he has not kept anything away from us. If he has, then I'll point out if after reading the pictures what he has not written. So that's the habit. Because if you read any picture written by bureaucrats, most of the things, even Mr. Venkatraman, I was surprised, the Vice President of India, who was the President of India, when he wrote the book. I was privy to certain decisions taken by him, and that particular incident which he wrote in the book, absolutely untruth. Absolutely untruth. And Mr. T.S.R. Subramaniam, he wrote his book. He is not here. He is one of my good friends. Mr. T.N. Sheshan wrote about the elections into what happened in that time. Total lie. What happened and what he wrote in the election, basically, books are to be written to create some kind of a history. But unfortunately, what is happening, books are also written as per political convenience, because conviction is a matter of convenience these days. So literature, I thought, is not a matter of convenience. You don't write literature according to what is acceptable in the society. You write literature because you are in love with it. You want to narrate something. You want to put a narration which people will like. But mixing it with masala, I can understand. But mixing it with fictional incident is something which I have learnt now, being a non-literate, because I don't write the books, but I can read some of them. Anyway, that was history. Now this is the third session. We have now 13 sessions with 40 speakers this time. So we started with only 21 speakers. We have got 40 speakers. And as we move forward, I think this will become a different kind of a literary festival in which we can bring all sorts of people together. We are privileged to have Naveen again here. I don't have to introduce again, because we have two different comparisons. One, Mr. Modi, who is the Prime Minister of India. He is the most visible Prime Minister and most talkative Prime Minister. We have the most invisible Chief Minister, but more talked about Chief Minister. So there's a contrast. He has set a record of winning a seat which nobody else won on his own. He has set a different record of winning maximum number of seats and decimating all the opposition. There are no BJP, there is no Congress, only Naveen Patnaik, it's sandwiches and ministry. Like Modi has done, there is only Modi left in this country, there is no other, but his visibility is there. And Mr. Naveen Patnaik, by being invisible, I don't know what speaks for him. People think Naveen Patnaik is Odisha, and Odisha is Naveen Patnaik, and he is also a great father. His father was a great person. When I called him first time, I asked him to read something from his book. Perhaps he forgotten at that time that he also wrote a book. So he recited something out of his book at that time. He was kind enough to do that. So I won't talk about him much, because all of you know and you vote for him. And he has been very gracious. So I request him to inaugurate this session once again. Please, Mr. Naveen Patnaik.
The editorial director of the New Indian Express, Sri Prabhu Chawla, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I express my sincere appreciation to the New Indian Express Group for organizing this two-day Odisha Literary Conference at Bhubaneswar for the third successive year. The Express Group, which brings out 22 editions of the newspaper, holds a glorious place in the world of print media in our country and contributes immensely to our efforts in strengthening journalism and enriching literature. I feel honored to be amidst a galaxy of poets, writers, playwrights, and practitioners of other forms of literature in Odisha, as well as in other languages, who have assembled here today. This festival has become a meeting point of creative minds of the state and the country, and has also been a vehicle for the exchange of ideas, thus breaking new ground in literature. It has laid emphasis on translation and emerging forms of literature such as script writing, food writing, and other modes of professional writing. Indian literature is certainly not confined to the Indian writing in English, which is read and appreciated only by English-educated people. Literature produced in regional languages represents a wide spectrum of our social life and presents an authentic account of life lived by our people in remote areas of the countries. Needless to say, volumes of creative literature is produced in these languages every year and read, enjoyed, and appreciated by millions. Unfortunately, this literature hardly gets the publicity it deserves, and not many institutions and organizations have come forward to promote their writers. Against this background, the efforts of the New Indian Express holds great significance. Adi Kabi, or the first Odia poet, the Bhagavad of Jagannath Das, and the Ramayana of Balram Das were the other two influential works of the period. Then came talented poets like Kabi Samrat Upendra Bhanja, Kabi Surya Baldev Rath, Dina Krishna Das, and others. Towards the end of the 19th century, Western influence became perceptible in the works of Odia poets and writers, especially in the poetry of Radhanath Rai. Fakir Mohan Senapati, the undisputed master of Odia fiction, has left behind novels, short stories, and poems. Modern Odia literature has been enriched by poets like Sachi Rautray, Kalindi Charan Panigrahi, Mayadhar Mansingh, Sitakant Mahapatra, novelists like Gopinath Mahanti, Kanucharan Mahanti, Surendra Mahanti, Sasantu Kumar Acharya, Pratibha Rai, and dramatists like Manoranjan Das and Bijay Mishra, to name a few. Besides focusing on traditional forms of literature, this literary festival also covers new, emerging, and unconventional areas in different sessions. This festival is thus going to be a path-breaking event in many ways. I hope the deliberations will be meaningful and will stimulate new ideas in literature. With these few words, I inaugurate this literary conference. I hope the Express Group will organize this event regularly and promote Indian literature in a big way. Thank you.
Honorable Chief Justice, I did not. Yeah, no. Anyway, before we do the formal, I have to present something. You please remove it. Aap hat jaye, please, thoda sa. I would like to ask him a couple of questions before he formally releases Rajdeep Sardesai's book. Because Rajdeep is also, let us give a big applause for Rajdeep Sardesai. He's made an approach here. That, and I will ask a couple of questions which are more political, nothing to do with literature. Mr. Patnaik, you have won record number of seats, 117, which is a record in Odisha. It happened. Nobody has won it. What makes Naveen Patnaik click with the masses?
I think the popularity of our party, the Biju Janata Dal, has been there over decades because we have followed a policy of transparency and efficiency, done a number of anti-poverty programs and development schemes for the state, which are doing well, and that's why I think our party gets re-elected, as it has for the fourth time.
It is not Naveen Patnaik who wins.
As I said, it's the programs and policies of the government that makes the party win.
And the other thing was when originally you are not comfortable, from your speeches we could find out you are not comfortable with the idea of Modi becoming the Prime Minister. Now after 5 months in power, we find that you are little now softened. Are you now acceptable? The Modi is different what you thought at that time?
I think it's too early to judge yet. This central government has only been there for a few months, but the policy of my party is to remain equidistant from both the Congress and the BJP.
No, I am asking about Modi as the Prime Minister. Are you feel that he is now looking better? His performance in 5 years is not something which you expected? Okay, he's...
As I said, it's early days. It's only been a very few months of the new central government. Let's wait and see.
Other thing which is happening, you have been very transparent in your running of the government. This CBI inquiry into various scams has not rattled you, that you were not expecting this to happen?
No, it hasn't rattled me at all. The government, after all, is not involved in this. And we too have done our best to try and clean up this mess.
Other thing, you have done so many populist schemes here. And populist schemes, do you think it is a burden on the state? You have not been able to generate enough revenue, and financial health of the state is not as good as it should have been.
The financial position of our government is very healthy, and as we have a large poor population, these anti-poverty schemes are very important.
Have you got anything people are talking about now? You will looking for a young generation who will work with you and then grow with you. Have you thought of a second generation? Who after Naveen Patnaik?
I'm sure there are plenty of people who are going to come after me, and we have a lot of young people in the party and in the government.
Then nobody will be a Patnaik.
I'm sure there'll be many people who will be
Patnaiks. Anyway, I won't bother you about that. May I request Rajdeep, please you come up. Rajdeep, sir. Where's your book?
How are you?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for the exclusive launch of the book by Mr. Rajdeep Sirdesai, one of our leading journalists of our country. He's now going to present copies of his book to our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, and the editorial director of the New Indian Express, Mr. Prabhu Chawla. The election that changed India. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause? An awaited moment at OLF 2014 and an awaited book of this year. Sure.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chawla, Honorable Chief Minister. It gives me enormous pride to come here to Bhubaneswar to release my book, because formally the book will be released in Delhi only on Friday. But the very fact that it's being done in Bhubaneswar before it's done in Delhi is perhaps a sign of the times. Perhaps India has to move to state capitals rather than focus in Delhi. I've had a lot of friends in this part of the world, so it is particularly a proud moment for me to come to Bhubaneswar, a state with a rich tradition of literature, and to be able to release the book here. The book is called 2014, The Election That Changed India. And I'm delighted that the BBC's Nick Gowing has just written a piece saying it's the best book he has seen written by an Indian journalist in the last 40 years that he's read. So that has given me great pride. I know we rely on the BBC to give us at times a certificate almost. I'm just going to say one thing. There's a little bit about the Chief Minister in the book, about Naveen Patnaik in one of the chapters. And it perhaps, while the central characters of the book remain Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi, the Odisha Chief Minister does find a place in the book, and maybe at some stage he will read about it. I rather fear he's already read about it, because he was looking at me very sternly this morning. So I wasn't sure whether he'd actually read the little bit about him.
What is the page number?
I'm just going to find the page number where I have briefly written about Mr. Patnaik. It is to my mind, let me just turn to that little bit, which is about Naveen Patnaik, where I just say, I'm going to read just one paragraph. Perhaps Naveen Patnaik's success offers hope to Rahul.
Page number, Rahul.
Page number 218. Perhaps Naveen Patnaik's success offers hope to Rahul and the other elite children of dynastical privilege. The lesson is simple. Even disconnected Macaulay Putras can triumph in politics if they are actually ready to work with relentless focus. If only Rahul Gandhi had made Lucknow his karma bhumi, like Naveen has made Bhubaneswar, who knows, the Congress leader might actually have emerged a battle-hardened politician. So that's a nice compliment to you. So you should be happy. There is also a little bit that I had said earlier. In 2000, Naveen Patnaik became Odisha Chief Minister from the Biju Janata Dal, carrying forward a family inheritance. He could barely speak Odia at the time and had hardly lived in Bhubaneswar. And yet this denizen of metropolitan India, who loved his scotch and his caviar, transformed himself into a tough local politician. The man who would once zip in and out of London made his first foreign trip as Chief Minister only in 2012. So what was his secret formula that ensured repeated electoral success? Among all the senior politicians in Odisha, he stands out as honest and earnest, claims a BJD MP. While he could be gentle in private conversation, he could be ruthless in his political dealings. He had split with the BJP just ahead of the 2009 elections and had removed close aides who he thought were conspiring against him. Most importantly, he had stayed the course. In the 2014 elections, he told me he wanted to remain equidistant from the BJP and the Congress. We will not support anyone, neither Modi nor Rahul after the election, was his public position. He would be true to his word. Anyway, Naveen Patnaik is obviously one of the stars of the 2014 elections. But a lot of this book is obviously about Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi, Nitish Kumar and all the other players who formed this election. I hope you will read it. Mr. Chawla says bureaucrats are not honest with about what they write about. I have tried to be as honest as possible in the hope that politicians have thick skins and therefore are ready to listen to criticism. That's the hope with which I've written this book. Thank you very much.
You would like to ask any question about election to him now?
No, I'm hoping that Mr. Naveen Patnaik will tell us whether he believes that the future of Indian politics lies in whether there is any future left for regional parties. There's a general feeling that regional parties are on the decline. Do you believe that Odisha is an exception, or do you believe that regional parties will actually be on the decline in the years ahead?
I don't think regional parties will be in a decline because there is a requirement for them. There is an appeal in areas for regional parties, and I think they'll continue healthily.
Okay, so maybe someone one day will have to write a biography of Naveen Patnaik, because one of the thoughts I had is that in the future we should write a book on all political dynasties of India, and the Patnaiks could feature as one chapter, one full chapter rather than one page in that book. But thank you very much, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman.
Thank you, Rajiv.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajdeep. I'll ask the last question. Naveen Patnaik has no national ambitions. You don't want to look India as your playground rather than confining yourself in Bhubaneswar and Odisha. Why you don't think? Because you have a cosmopolitan thinking, you have studied abroad, you have a broader view of things. People like you should be contributing to the national growth rather than only to Odisha. You don't have that kind of thinking, never comes to your mind.
There's still a great deal of work to be done in Odisha, so I'd like to confine myself to the state.
Now Modi used to say before the election, मैं उड़ीसा बहुत सारा काम करना है मेरे को गुजरात में, I don't want to go anywhere else. And even the last interview which we did, in the name he said, Gujarat जो है 5 crore जनता से, I love my 5 crore people. And do you think that this is the beginning for you? You still think you can make, because you have maximum number of seats in this state. So you don't think you can still count? You are satisfied? You don't want to play a national role at all?
No, I don't want to play a national role. I've served in the central government for a while. I think that's quite enough.
That was accidental, I think. Thank you very much, Mr. Chief Minister. We are really grateful to you for coming here, giving us a guidance. I think next year we'll invite you and we'll make it a little bigger. Thank you very much.
I would request our editorial director of the New Indian Express, Mr. Prabhu Chawla, to now present a memento, a small token of appreciation to our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik. We had given a book a little time before, but this is a special memento for you, sir. I would like to mention that this is the 3rd edition of OLF, and our CM has been kind enough to grace this festival for all the 3 years. Thank you, sir. Yeah, sure. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start the panel discussions. Okay, we'll just start the panel discussions in a couple of minutes. Our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, has to leave for some prior engagement. I would like to once again thank him on behalf of the New Indian Express team.